Hey there, hello and welcome. It is Madeline here, and today we are talking about how to successfully work from home during quarantine and beyond. So, I know that some states are talking about starting to open up and going back to work, and wherever you are, I think that working from home, especially for the professional, hey Joanna, good to see you, love, is going to become part of the new normal. Okay, so I know back when I was in corporate, I dreamed of working from home, and now I'm living that dream. So maybe it's a dream for you to be able to work from home, or maybe it's a nightmare. I can appreciate how it can go either way. So, and I just want to say that I just want to give credit to, hey Lorna, good to see you, love. I just want to give credit to my trainer, Dr. Matt James, gave this, did a training for us a couple of weeks back, and I thought, oh, what a great idea. I know my people are working from home. Let me share this with them. And of course, I put my spin on it because, he's talking to trainers and I'm talking to the professional, the entrepreneur, the business leader who's working in corporate or in the workplace or in business. So, as I started to say, maybe this is a dream. Hey, Linda, good to see you, love. Maybe this, working from home is a dream come true for you. Maybe it's a nightmare. And I can appreciate either side. And I understand that it's, it was my dream. I'm living my dream. And it took some getting used to. I'm still working out the kinks, right? When I heard my trainer, Dr. Matt, say he was doing this live, I put it in all my calendars because I wanted to, hey Linda, success leaves clues and I want to model success, right? So I wanted to get tips from him and now I'm passing them on to you. So, and interestingly, so why do you want to know how to, well, now we're working from home, okay? The biggest problem, right? So I remember back when I was in corporate, like the suits used to be, like the old school suits used to be like, people can't work from home. They have to be in the office. They're not working if they're from home, right? Well, like we don't know what they're doing. If they're at home, they're not doing their job, blah, blah, blah. That's ridiculous, first of all, especially at our level of work, right? Level of professional, right? We're type A's, we're high achievers, we're in management. For the most part, we're running the business, leading the department, whatever. Or even if, you're not in leadership, you get shit done, don't you? That's right. So actually, the biggest problem with working from home is burnout, right? Is that we're working all the time and we don't know how to turn it off and there's no boundaries. And, so as the type A achiever type, which I am, I'm assuming you are if you're hanging out with me, right? It's so easy to get caught up in the doing and the accomplishing and checking off one more thing off of that to-do list, right? So and already, even when we are working in the office, right, with amazing technology, has it so we can be connected all the time, right? So now we're at work, now we're at home at work, and we could be working all the time, and we don't know when to turn it off, or we haven't established that trigger or that boundary to turn it off. So that's what I want to talk to you about tonight is how can you get your job done from work? How can you make it a dream come true for you? Again, because I believe that this is going to be the new normal going forward. And if you're loving it, maybe we'll do another live. I'm going to talk a little bit about how decide this is going to be your normal and manifest it, right? Okay. So you're working from home. How do you make that work for you? Okay. Other than you're working from home and now you don't have to commute, or, maybe you're one of those people who miss going into the office. I've talked to some people like that as well. So, like energy flows where attention goes and energy trickles down. It comes in from spirit to the mind to emotions into physiology. So I want to help you establish your physical space so you can send it back up and feel good about what's going on with you, if that makes sense, okay? And, as I dive into this, tell me in the comments, right? Are you loving working from home or not, right? Is it a challenge for you, or are you still going to the office? And if you're still going to the office, let me know how I can help you. We can talk about that next time. So first off, make sure you have a workspace, okay? So, now we're all living the laptop lifestyle. Say that 3 times fast. Don't be working from the couch. Don't be working from the bed. Don't be working on the floor, right? Unless you need space to spread stuff out. But ideally, you'd have an office, right? You'd have a workspace. So I have a workspace, and I established a workspace at home, an office in my home. I chose to do that when I was in corporate, right? So if you often work from home, even when you do go to the office, you may want to consider creating an office space in your home if you don't have one already. But if you don't have an office space, create and set up a workspace, okay? So my teacher, Dr. Matt, actually had feng shui people come in and set up his whole home and his workspace like that. I'm not quite there, but I think that's a fabulous idea. But set up a good workspace, right? Something that is functional, where you can work, and that it's going to be your workspace. And ideally, you don't have to put it away every night, but you can walk away from that space on a regular basis. So this is my office, and this is my workspace, and I leave this space, right? And I don't come in here unless I'm going to do work, okay? Unless I'm going to do work. Anyway, hey, Jennifer, good to see you, okay? And make sure, so my son has done a really good job at this. So my son and his husband now they're both professionals. They're both working from home. His husband is using the office, and my son has set up his workspace at the dining room table, right? At the formal dining room table, which they only use for formal occasions, right? So now he has a workspace. Hey, Jen, good to see you. It's been a while. Right, so now he has a formal workspace where he can spread out, he can be productive, it's functional, and then he can walk away, okay, from it. That's ideal, okay? It's a space that you can work at productively and then walk away from. If you can't, hopefully these other steps will help you with successfully working from home, okay? So whatever your workspace is, again, avoid the bed, not in the bed, the couch, walking around with it. It's good for work to be work, and downtime to be downtime, okay? And make sure that it feels good, that your space feels good. You're not cramped, it's not uncomfortable, that it feels as good as it can. And if you're sharing a workspace, right? So one of my clients, right, she and her husband are working from home right now, right? If you're sharing a workspace, establish boundaries about who's going to be in there when, can you both be in there together? What's the volume level going to be if we're on a conference call, or if you're on the conference call, right? So think that through and work it out and communicate your boundaries so people aren't getting pissed off, annoyed, and inconvenienced during the workday, okay? Right? You people are making things happen. We need to get our work done, right? And you can effectively get it done at home, excuse me. You can get it done better at home, in my opinion, okay? So that is so that's step number 1, set up your space for success. Step number 2 is dress for success. So my teacher, Dr. Matt, says, hey, Christine, good to see you. Dress as if you're going to work, okay? And dress as if you're going to see people. I don't do that, but that's good advice, and that might work for you, okay? Some of my colleagues do that, but get dressed, okay? Do not work in your pajamas. I try to avoid coming into my office in my pajamas, even for a quick thing, right? If it's that early or that late in the evening and I'm in my pajamas, I don't need to be working. And there's a lot of blurred lines between my work, right? What I do and, from a corporate job, right? So if you're in a corporate job or some kind of business, for the most part, I want you to cut it off at some point, but I'm getting ahead of myself, right? So anyway, dress for success, right? And that makes sense, right? Because when I get dressed for a live because I'm going to see people, okay? So, I feel as if this is being in public, okay? But otherwise, my at-home uniform is more relaxed. I'm wearing yoga gear, right? Because I'm a yogi at at heart, okay? So like if you're in corporate, maybe you wear a suit and tie to work, okay? And you'll feel silly wearing a suit and tie at home, right? Or a dress at home. I get that, but get dressed to some degree, okay? Not in your pajamas. Or your sleep gear. Pajamas are down time, okay? Maybe you're a little bit more relaxed. Maybe you're wearing jeans and a sweater or a t-shirt now, okay? But get dressed. And next, I want to talk about time management. Okay, so time management is critical because we want to avoid that workout. And now the lines can be, the work time versus the downtime, because now the lines can be blurred about when that starts and when that ends. So decide, okay? Keep a schedule. Okay, keep a schedule and decide what that, now you have flexibility and some freedom with your schedule, right? So decide when it is you're going to work. If you like the structure, like one of my friends really likes structure, and he's keeping his same business hours at home, right? So, but now he's eliminated his commute time, so he has more time, freedom, and more flexibility in that respect. But he's still keeping his work time, his work hours in general, and is available for communication, interaction with coworkers, and meetings at that time. So that's a great idea. Okay, so my schedule is far more flexible and fluid because that's what works for me. But decide, here's the key, right? So decide what your schedule is and then stick to it. Most importantly, so you have a quitting time, okay? Or so you have time where you are not working, okay? And not on call, right? So my love, unless you are a, doctor or some type of first responder, you don't need to be on call, okay? It's not that important that you be available. And I say that with the most love and respect, okay? But you get that, right? Unless somebody's bleeding or cut open, right? Or on fire, you can have a quitting time and it can wait until tomorrow. Can it? That's right. Hey, Stephanie, glad you made it. So establish working time, okay? And then establish a structure and then communicate that to the people in your household. So, and that's the next step is conscious communication. So if there are other family members in your household, so again, if you and your spouse or partner are sharing an office, or now you're both working from home, which is different from how it used to be before quarantine, right? So have a think about what that's going to look like for you, what it should look like for you, and communicate who's going to work where, what your hours are going to be, what your hours of operation are going to be, and establish boundaries around that. Again, if you're sharing a space, you're sharing phone lines, whatever, right? Think about it, be conscious about it, bring it into your awareness, and then communicate that with your spouse or your partner, and make sure that that works for both of you, okay? And whatever you decide, just communicate that with your partner. If you have kids at home, maybe you have college kids at home, right? Because they've come home from school, let them know what your schedule is so that during these hours, I'm in boss mode, right? I'm in worker mode. I'm in entrepreneur mode. I'm not in mom or dad mode, okay? And let people know that so they can respect your boundaries, okay? Ladies, specifically, are my feminine energy people, right? So this is especially true for you because if you're the feminine energy in your relationship and you have your masculine partner at home, when you're in work mode, that's masculine mode, okay? And you need to turn that off when you move into home partner mode, okay? So it's important to let your partner know I'm in work mode and then transition into home mode so you can leave your masculine energy at the door, wherever that is for you, at the dining room table, wherever that is, wherever your workspace is now and then amp up your feminine energy when you are coming into home mode. Okay. And then there's the whole thing about if you're both home now, right? If you're both home or if you're all home now, depending on, regardless of what the nature of your relationship is now, you're used to spending, a few hours a day together, and now you're home together all day. What's hard to do, Joanna? Let me know. Can you be more specific? I'll elaborate if I can. Now, right, so we're used to spend a few hours together. Now you're spending all day together, or you can be in each other's space or around each other all day. So be conscious of that. If your relationship is in trouble, that's a topic for turn off the boss mode. That's what I thought. Okay, I'm getting to that. If your relationship isn't a good one, that's a topic for a whole other live. Let me know if you want me to cover that. You can put it in the chat. If you don't want to put it, you can private message me if you don't want to put it in the comments here, and I'll talk about that at another time. But now's the time. Now might be the time to address it, isn't it? That's right. The universe. This is a pause in time. The universe is giving us this time attention intentionally. And again, I invite you, how can you make it work for you? Whatever quarantine is bringing up for you, let it come up. And how can you make it work for you, right? And book a call with me if you want my help with that. If it's more than you can handle, it's often more than most of us can handle. Schedule a complimentary call for Calm with me. I'll tell you how to do that at the end. And I'll put links in the comment and schedule a call with me, okay? So communicate your boundaries, your schedule, what mode you're in, right? So Joanna says it's hard to turn off boss mode because she's a boss lady at work all day, and then you come home, right? You come home, I'm assuming that you're the feminine energy, Joanna, and that your husband is the masculine energy, okay? So you turn that shit off at the door. And here's step 5, okay? Which is meditate and intention setting, okay? So meditation, right? Having a regular meditation practice is going to help you become aware enough to implement all of these fabulous strategies that I'm sharing with you today, and to remember that there is an acclimation period, right? And I know that we've been home for a lot of weeks now, or whenever you're watching this, and it's okay if it's not been enough time for you to acclimate to the new situation, okay? It's a big change. Meditation is going to help you with that. Meditation, I teach that the meditation twice a day. Second meditation at the end of the day, okay? So I'll get back to that. First meditation at the beginning of the day, right? And set the intention for your day, okay? Set the intention for your day, have your meditation period, and whatever else you do for yourself in the morning, right? Maybe you're reading, you're journaling, you're praying, you're exercising, you're meditating, you're doing all that before you start your day. And then with meditation, set the intention that you're going to have your work day, and then cut off self-care time, or whatever you want to call it, and then start your work day, okay? At the end of your work day, whenever that is a great time for the second meditation, so you can transition from boss mode to home mode. So again, if you're the feminine energy in boss mode, this is especially important because you don't want to be the boss at home. That's going to conflict with your masculine's energy, okay? And maybe you're both bosses, right? Maybe you're the masculine boss, and that's cool. You still want to be masculine energy at home, but you don't want to be the boss of her or him at home, right? You just want to be the strong masculine energy. Again, topics all big enough all by themselves for another Facebook Live. But that's where meditation is a great way to transition from boss mode to home mode, if that makes sense, okay? Or maybe go for a walk together, right? Or go for a walk, or do some yoga, but have some transition, have some transition time and set the intention, right? You'll be amazed at the power of intention setting and saying, okay, it's meditation time. I'm going to transition, right? I'm going to let work go for now, okay? And I'm going to connect with myself and with spirit, my higher power, whatever you believe in. And then, oh, good. I'm glad it serves you, Joanna. And thank you for the positive feedback. Right? I'm going to connect with God, spirit, myself, my higher power, whatever you believe in. I'm going to enter into home. Yeah, I'm going to enter into home now, and I'm going to enter into partner mode, lover mode, friend mode, mom mode. If you're college kids or maybe you've got younger kids, are home from school now, okay? So, right, we're consciously directing our energy. Okay? It makes a big difference, all right? And you'll be hard-pressed to do that, right? If you're in stress mode, if you're in high go mode, you'd be hard-pressed to do that without a regular meditation practice, okay? So if you'd like my help with any of this, establishing a meditation practice, or just talking about what's going on with you, I invite you to schedule a complimentary call for calm with me by going to MadeleineCorrea.com/call and look at my calendar and book a time that works for you, okay? And I'd be happy to catch up with you during that time, all right? So let me recap those for you really quick, okay? 1, set up your space energetically, physically, so it feels good and it's functional for you, okay? Thanks for the love. 2, dress for success, whatever that means for you, but get dressed, right? Don't be in your pajamas all day. Okay. 3, manage your time, have boundaries, have a work start time and a work downtime. A work cutoff time so you transition into downtime. If you're like me and my schedule is very fluid, but there are but there are times when I am working and when I am not, and schedule it whenever and as often as possible. Okay. Have definitive boundaries around that, okay? And then 4 is communicate those boundaries, okay? People don't know your boundaries, right? You're like, oh, people should know that. Nope. Again, topic for another time. But communicate your boundaries. People don't know what they are unless you tell them what they are, okay? Or assume that people don't know what your boundaries are or what your schedule is unless you tell them. And meditate, right? Meditation makes everything fabulous, all right? It's going to expand your awareness and be able to implement these or any strategies, okay? And again, if you'd like my help with that, or if you're called to connect with me, I invite you to book a complimentary call for calm with me by going to MadeleineCorrea.com/call and let's connect, okay? So let me know what questions you have, thank you for the positive feedback, Joanna. Mary Kay, good to see you, love. And I'm not seeing anything in the comments, but if you're catching the replay, put your thoughts, comments, questions, and I'll do my best to respond afterwards, okay? Or you can schedule that call and we'll talk about them in person, so to speak. So my loves, I hope this serves you, and I will look forward to seeing you again soon. And until next time, I will see you in the gap. Namaste. Be blessed. You're welcome, Linda.